You're standing in the middle of a busy bar, or maybe you're the owner of a small CAF that just added a few seats, and the thought of splurging on a commercial fridge that ends up taking up space, making a racket, or fogging up when you need to showcase a cold brew is nagging at you. You've probably seen a few glossy ads that promise restaurant-grade cooling, but you're not sure if the price tag is justified for the real-world hustle you face. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What you really need is a clear picture of whether this Bodega BODEGACOOLER will actually keep your drinks at the right temperature without stealing the spotlight from your service. First off, let's talk about the layout. The unit sits under the counter at about the height of a typical back bar, so it slides in nicely behind a prep area or next to a point of sale. The 3 glass doors give you a 360-degree view of the inventory, which is a huge plus when you want customers to see a row of craft beers or a selection of sodas without having to open the fridge. The anti-fog low glass is more than a marketing buzzword. In a humid kitchen it stays clear for hours, meaning you're not constantly wiping the doors to keep the display looking inviting. The built-in LED lighting runs at a low wattage, so the interior glows evenly, highlighting the bottles and cans without adding heat that the compressor has to fight. Now, the cooling side. The compressor is advertised as low noise, and in practice the hum is barely audible over a coffee grinder or a bustling bar. That matters if you have an open concept space where a loud thrum would distract diners. The automatic defogging system kicks in when the ambient humidity spikes, which is common during a busy lunch rush when doors are opened and closed repeatedly. I've seen similar units where the glass fogs up within minutes, forcing staff to pause and wipe. The defogger here prevents that downtime. Temperature consistency across the 3 compartments is solid. The cold air circulates evenly, so a bottle at the bottom stays as chilled as one on the top shelf. For a business that needs to keep a mixed inventory, think a few cases of wine, a crate of craft beer, and a couple of soda packs. The 11.4 cubic foot capacity feels generous without being a massive footprint. Who should consider this fridge? If you run a bar, a small restaurant, a coffee shop with a grab-and-go beverage station, or even a catering operation that needs a portable back bar display, the Bodega BODEGACOOLER checks most boxes. It's especially useful when you want to make the drinks part of the decor. The clear doors and LED glow turn the fridge into a visual selling point rather than a hidden appliance. It also suits owners who are sensitive to noise, because the compressor's quiet operation lets you keep the ambience pleasant. On the flip side, if your operation is a high-volume nightclub that needs to chill dozens of kegs a night, the 11.4 cubic foot space may feel cramped, and you'll likely need a larger walk-in or multiple units. Likewise, if your budget is razor-thin and you only need a single shelf for bottled water, the cost of a 3-door commercial unit could be overkill. A couple of practical quirks are worth noting before you hit add to cart. The glass doors are sturdy, but they're not insulated as heavily as a solid door freezer, so in extreme summer heat the unit works a bit harder to stay at 35–40 F, which can slightly increase the electric bill. That's why the low noise compressor's efficiency matters. It's designed to cycle on and off without large spikes in power draw, but you'll still notice a modest uptick if you keep the doors open for long periods. Also, the unit's leveling feet are adjustable, but they require a bit of patience to get perfectly balanced on uneven flooring. Otherwise you'll hear a faint vibration that can be mistaken for a compressor issue. Finally, while the LED lighting is bright enough for a showcase, it doesn't have a dimming option, so in a dimly lit lounge you might want to add a small accent lamp if you're after a softer glow. All things considered, the Bodega BODEGACOOLER delivers on the promises that matter most to a small to mid-size food service venue: clear visibility, quiet operation, reliable temperature, and a design that fits under a counter without dominating the floor plan. It isn't a universal solution for massive high-turnover operations, but for anyone who wants to turn a back bar fridge into a selling feature rather than a hidden cooler, it offers solid value. If you think this could work for you, the link is in the description.